in the southwest wing of the Mohawk retirement home. We're going to walk through the HVAC that's in one of the 4 wings. They're all identical pretty much. And we'll start with the area that we're standing in. It's called the common area. Sitting on the roof above us is an air handling unit. It has a supply coming, it's a down discharge, has a supply coming down and a return going back up. So this unit, the duct mainly goes through a silencer to keep it a little bit quiet on both sides, and then it runs down the entire length of this hallway to the end of the common area. It's only about maybe 50 feet down there. What happens is the supply branches go out in 5 different locations all the way out, and I'll show you just one of the 5 locations that are in the rooms. They go to linear diffusers, which run, and this one, as you can see, is over 20 feet long for all the warm air supply on the outside edges of the buildings. Give the windows a warm air wash. The return is in the middle of the rooms, and these are covered up as we're still in the construction phase of the building. There would be 4 in this small area, and in the larger area on the other side, there's 5. Those are 48 by 6 return grills. Each one of them has balancing dampers, etc., which are located above these access doors, so a person can balance the system and the volume of air being pulled or blown out. And that's all taken care of by the balancer as the building's already gets its occupancy, Jay, so you won't have to ever touch or adjust any of those dampers. Okay. That takes care of the air handling unit. And you gonna need this ladder? Yeah, we're gonna need the ladder. The other large unit that takes care of each wing is a makeup air unit. And it's sitting directly above our heads here on this side of this large common area. It has a supply and a return as well. The supply duct runs on this side of this skylight opening. The return drop comes down through here and runs down through this side of the skylight. So the main balancing damper for the supply is through this access door up here. You can look up there, Jay, and you'll be able to see that always on the supply side of the duct, it's thermally wrapped with insulation on the outside. Yeah. There's your OBD or opposing blade damper that regulates the airflow. They're normally left in a wide open position. This is all engineered to have the right amount of air, to feed the right amount of area, etc., etc. Okay. So this ducting on the return and the supply both, they basically make a large loop in this area that we're standing in. Hallway, in the construction phase, we refer to it as hallway A, hallway B, and hallway C. Let's take a walk down hallway C, and I'll just show you each one of the hallways are the same. As the ducting would come into this hallway, each wing is separated by a fire separation wall. The fire separation has a fire damper that you and I talked about this morning. Yep. How it closes and opens based on the power from the supplied to the damper itself.
What's this one come from, Dave?
That is a supply diffuser that is coming off of this side of the, as I said, the supply duct, the main drop coming through comes down. It has one diffuser with one balancing damper up there above the T-bar right there, which picks up this one long linear. This one is, because most of the air, this is closed, so I want to say 3/4 to 7/8 closed, because it's just a little bit of air for that big diffuser. It's 3 10-inch rounds feeding that, I believe. You want the bulk of your air to come out because we're feeding all the individual wings and fan coil units that are placed around the different rooms. So if we step into the wing itself, now we're on this side of the fire separation. If we have a look on this access door that we've provided, that says FSD, standing for fire smoke damper. That is your access to an access door that you can look inside And there's your fire damper right up here, because the actual fire separation wall is here. It's not really where the door is. It's
Yeah.
it's just above.
There's the access door there.
That's an access door for the fire damper, just to look, an inspection port is what we kind of call that. And on this side is the return fire damper coming into the wing. And again, you'll see the fire smoke damper symbol. This tile can be removed, and up above you'll have all the hardware that's required for the fire damper. That's the electrical tie-ins and sensors and cleanouts, etc. Here's a grill that's that'll be pulling air, exhausting air out of this particular room. Here's another one. This is the electrical room for I want to say, just if you'd like to come in here and look, and they're locked. Okay. This center panel, this is the wing, the wrong wing. It's in the B wing, but always the center panel in the B wing is where all the fire damper breaker is located. It operates all the fire dampers in this particular wing. It's usually number 8 and number 9. Just for your information, but you get that through the electrician walk through. Again, another exhaust that's coming from the makeup air. So, a small example is the supply duct and the return duct, or the exhaust duct as we refer to it on the makeup, runs directly down the entire hallway all the way to the end. The duct tapers as it proceeds because you're taking more air off of it, and you need to taper it to maintain the velocity of the air and the speed, like a Venturi effect in a sense, right? We have 2 diffusers in this hallway, which are blowing supply air coming off it. The rest of all the supply openings are proceeding into each suite. This is a typical suite that is, for the person that lives in here, and they have 2 access doors for the mechanical up above. This is the return opening that's going into a return plenum located on this side. If we bring the ladder in, I'll open that door and we can have a look at it for. We probably could have walked down the hall and found one that already had the door open. But I think Jay wants to open the door anyway. We opened one last week, Jay and I, and we went through the
Filter change.
and of course the duct heater that's associated with this as well, right? All right. There we go. So up above each access door in the suite at this location is a fan coil unit. On the return side of the fan coil unit, you'll see a small door. That's where the filter goes in. And on the supply end of the fan coil unit, there's a similar door with the exact same setup where the filters are installed. What happens is on the supply end of it, at this access door, there's a duct heater which is used in case the temperature outside is too cold for the proper heat pump to get any air or heat out of it. It's assisted by this duct heater, and after the duct heater, of course, are a couple of round connections that go to, once again in the suites we've used a linear diffuser, a linear style diffuser. Very, it's very attractive. Okay.
And then you got
And on the exhaust side of each suite, coming from the makeup air in the hallway again, each washroom has an exhaust grill, and they typically run at 50 to 70 CFM, just pulling out of the hallway. I think. Don't quote me on that.
how's the fresh air?
Sorry.
And the fresh air ties in.
So yes, the fresh air ties into a plenum, which is at the back of the return end of the fan coil unit. That plenum is drawing air out of the suite as well through here, and it's also getting a feed of supply air out of the makeup air unit to assist in making sure we have enough return air in each suite, in each individual suite. Would you like to go up and take the filter out, Jay?
Yeah, sure. Okay, this way.
Yeah, probably that way better. safer.
There, I see it.
What, your flashlight?
No, maybe.
There you should be all right.
There we go.
And they just slide out.
Yeah, you just
There's
slide-
two filters in there, and the filter will slide. And once again, when you're changing those filters every 3 months or so, or 6 months, I'm not sure what it's called for. You just
Watch out
notice
for
the
the
arrows on
arrow
the ends
there,
of the filters, showing airflow direction. And the airflow always goes towards the supply diffuser, which is at the window, like we talked about
Yes.
before, from the return end of the unit to the supply end of the unit. What we've got is a MERV 13 filter on the exhaust end to really filter out any impurities in the air, and then a MERV 8 or a MERV 10 on the supply end of it to give it a double wash. It comes out on the supply end of it. What are you looking for, your arrow?
Arrow there, but see these things here.
Yeah, I know. So when you get it all the way, when you get it to the halfway point,
Yeah.
when you get it to the halfway point, just use your fingers and push them in, or do that,
Okay.
or do that. And then once again, when you're taking the filters out, you're probably not concerned because they're going in the garbage. If a piece of paper gets, but on putting them in, we have to be really careful to make sure there's no damage to occur, of course.
It's because they're just the right size.
Yeah, I think that at the shop, they had a different brand of filter that they were sliding and testing in.
Oh.
And I think it was only 1 inch wide too, and that helped,
Yeah, 1 inch
right?
changes.
They didn't have a 2 inch wide one. And I still don't know why. Not that there's anything on tell you on tape.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
they are tight. And
All right.
need to get it positioned just right.
Oh yeah, I find it's, what I do is I like getting the top hooked in first and having the bottom out on there's a slide apparatus inside, getting it on a bit of an angle. Then you use the slide and it forces it in that way, right?
There we go.
It's easier on the first one.
Close
Yeah,
that
so
up.
Jay, so like I said, when it comes days that,
Yeah.
when a person moves out of their suite or if they need, you might want to allow, each room, you could be in there for 20 minutes, or you might be a place over here where the T-bars, gotta be, move a light over or something. You never know, you have to allow a certain amount.
Yes.
And after you do the room a couple times, you'll have more quicker ways.
Okay.
You'll have a, did you want to see the duct heater as well up there?
Yeah, let's take a look at
Electrical
it.
duct
Sure.
heater.
Yeah.
Might as well shut that door while you're there.
Oh yeah, let's shut this bad boy up there.
I'm gonna move that probably a little bit.
Wow.
Oh, I see this guy here.
Yeah, they have to be in the closed position in the open position to push up tight.
This guy.
There we go. You know, it's funny, those ones with 4 latches on them, and then I had a couple of different orders of access doors, and some of them came, the ones I put 2 up in the bathroom over there this morning, and they only had 1 single latch in the center,
Oh.
on the one end, right? There we go, I think. Yeah, it's probably a safe bet to wear your hard hat, Jay.
Yeah? Like come down and get you
So
or
if
something?
somebody doesn't quite get one latched correctly, and then
Oh, when you're like,
and you're undoing it, and you think it's held, all of a sudden it's coming down at you.
It might hurt.
Yeah. There's a nice one. There you go.
All right.
Okay, so there's an electric duct heater.
Yeah.
With the assist with the heating, it's just a coil that slides into the duct itself. With these screws on the outside removed, this coil is able to slide out of the coil. So what we've provided is an access door on this side, and they're kind of hard to get at, Jay, but they have to be on the supply side, because if there's anything stuck in the ductwork in the coil, you know, it's going to be on the airflow side, right? So if you had to clean it out or something, that would be a spot you would look if there was a lack of air at the linear up here or something.
Right.
Something could have broken off a filter and be stuck in the coil itself here.
Just open that
right,
door
to
there.
open that door. And if you can't get your head into it, in today's world, we have an apparatus called a phone with a camera on it.
Yeah. Oh, let's take a picture.
You can always, yeah, you can always
Okey-dokey.
do whatever you have to. So that's what that's for. If you ever get somebody ask you what's that funny looking box on the screw to the side of the duct for,
Can we go back up then?
yeah, yeah. As long as you got no questions.
I don't think so. I think it's.
Once again, it's probably an electrician is the only person that's going to be able to, is qualified to take that thing apart and pull it out of there. And,
Right.
unless it's a cleaning as you're doing, because those coils could get dirty with just plain dust too. You could be able to stick a vacuum cleaner head in there with a small soft brush on it.
Yep.
And just brush off them electric heating coils, the same as you would an air conditioning coil or something like that. Just a soft brush.
They'll get dust on them, Jay, too, and so in the fall, the first time they heat up, you might have
Be
a
a smell there.
tenant said that they can smell the dust burning off,
Yeah, and they might have,
Okay.
yeah.
but it,
Yeah, because, yeah, exactly. Like, probably not now that we're going into spring, but the first time them start up, like next January or something, the tenant might go, oh my God, I smell
Yeah.
smoke. You know what I mean?
Is
Because
that,
they haven't
sitting
operated.
out a little bit at the side? Is that okay like that? Like, see what it's just-
Yeah, if your latches,
Latches
locked.
closed.
Sometimes they might be slightly out of square, right?
Right.
Give a little, one of those with the palm of your hand and see if it doesn't,
Oh.
then it's, there you go, there you go. Make it pretty for the.
make
So-
it pretty in Dave's room here.
Yeah.
Is this your room in today?
Not my room.
Not yet.
So if you want to go to the end of the hall and look at the
Yeah.
sitting room, I think that's all we're going to need for the ladder here, Jay, unless you want to go up to the sitting room and look again.
No, that's okay. I've already been up there. We don't need to start
It's
Take a
open,
look.
it's open anyway.
It's open anyway. You look up. So as we go down the hallway, each suite is the exact same. We can look at, again, the return, going to the window, which is the supply end of it. Every one has a fan coil, 2 access doors, basically the same layout all the way through. At the very end of the hall, we have a little sitting room for the people that live here, and windows, the same deals. You can look up and see the big fan coil that hangs up there. Again, this is going to be your return end. Based on looking, you can tell your return end by the exhaust inside, or the return air inside, with your filter rack, and your supply filter rack would be over here, which you'd have access through this door here if required. But that door also has 2 balancing dampers that are associated with the linear grill, which have already been preset, and they've gotten their readings. This has all been balanced, and the airflows are adequate here. Another small exhaust grill, just the very last grill that comes off of the end of each return from the makeup air run. This last exhaust, instead of picking up each bathroom, it also has a small exhaust right here. Basically just to help with the balance of the airflow, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. You want to anything you need to look at still in the wing area?
No, I think I got it. Well, there was a couple of places that were hard to change over near the nursing area, but I think you and I kind of climbed up there.
Well, we can walk through the nurses area. I want to say throughout the building, I'll show you the room that I call the hardest room in the building.
Yeah,
There's 4 of them in total.
to change the
Again,
filter.
these rooms,
Tub and shower.
besides being totally loud, and you know why it's loud? It's because the dampers are probably off again.
It's not supposed to be that loud?
I'm gonna go into,
No.
we electrical.
Not that
repair.
loud.
Because they've been going around changing that sensor for the smoke detector, right? And he's been shutting the fire dampers off. And the unit's running. I don't know about this.
Storage at the moment. But
I don't know if he was shutting them off in this one.
locked out though, right?
It was Ryan yesterday, and I asked Derek from EMCS to shut off makeup air number 2 and 3, associated with the southeast and southwest, because I didn't want them running at full speed, because the dampers are shut.
Yeah.
So all the air is being dispersed and fighting itself around in just
I
in
thought
that
the
little
nurses
area
was
right there.
heavy.
And there's two diffusers there that are blowing like crazy, and etc. That's what all the noise is from out here. Like, I bet a lot of it's coming out of that thing
Yeah.
right up there, right?
Quite a
It's
bit.
being forced through a tiny balancing damper.
I can feel it blowing.
Take a walk through the small nurses' quarters. It is supplied by 3 fan coil units. The nurse's kitchen, again, the deal with him is your access is actually like, there's the return there, and the supply end is down there. Your access is actually this tile here for the
Change the filter?
to change the filters on this unit here. I sure hope it's not this one here and this guy has had a problem, because if it is, we'll need to put a T in here and make this portion of it removable to help to assist with the changing of the filters. This is what I was telling you about the other day too.
Yeah.
As the time goes on and you're working here, you might see a couple spots go, you know, if there's an hour that this place is closed, you'll come in, put a 2-foot T in, and cut that tile down and make your own a better accessible route for you to reach. And then you'll know next time you come to change it, you can allow a little bit less time because you've got better access
There'll be
to
4
it.
filters in this area too?
That's correct. There's a fan coil directly above
There's
our
always
head.
4.
There's always 4 in each unit. Two on the supply end, 2 on the return end.
Right.
Once again, MERV 13 on the return end, and MERV 10, or it actually calls for MERV 8, but the first, I think we got MERV 10s, because that's what they were easily, we got them instead. But now the second shipment, the one that I have I have over 700 filters in that C-can out there for you as your replacement filters out there. They are actually MERV 8s, I believe. They got the right MERV number on those ones. So there's one here. There's one in the room behind us, which is a small kitchen area or that's the kitchen area for the break room for the nurses.
Then there's 2 rooms here.
Yeah. So can you get that for me?
Yeah.
You have all the keys now. I have one too, but it's.
This was the one that was really hard to get to.
Yeah. It's a very tiny room, as you can see. Up above our ceiling there is a fan coil. A fan coil which has a large 10-inch supply duct and a 10-inch round exhaust duct. Your access to that fan coil, I want to say, is going to be here. But once again, this might be a situation where you would cut a 2-foot T in and make this one removable as well. It might help you, right? As you move forward. I believe that's right directly under the unit itself.
Yeah, and
Right.
these ones are difficult to move around, are they?
This has a P. Yes, that's a little bit difficult.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's a aluminum, soft aluminum, flexible duct that could be.
Do you look up there?
Yeah.
You got that on the list? Yeah, it's an aluminum soft duct that could be easily ripped or dislodged if you want to try not to. Sometimes it's don't get me wrong, it's sturdy enough. If you look up above the ceiling and you see a little bit of play in it,
Yeah.
you can move them, like, say, halfway out of the hole without disturbing it, at least enough for you to get one arm up in there or your head. I'm not saying they're totally unmovable.
Yeah.
I'd have a look at it from a better location first.
Yeah. Okay.
And see if that it looks good for you.
Alrighty.
And the third one is down around the corner here for the nurses. Yeah, why don't we'll actually take a tile out down on that guy and
All right.
you can see. That bathroom and the bathroom coming out of the hallway we're just in, each one with an 8x8 exhaust. Again, that's just coming off of this makeup air unit right here, just pulling 2 bathrooms back into the, similar to the exhaust that's in the suites. Another nurse's resting lounge area, two-way glass type of thing. Let's come over here and we'll just take this little tile out right there and see what you'd be up against if it came time to change.
This one right here?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We don't know exactly where it is. It could be one down there by Mike, but that looks like a nice easy one that we can at least look up and see what's up there.
Not easy one.
Okay. Which way should I put it? To the side, I guess?
Lots of
We're gonna
sprinklers
get that
there.
way. Let's have a look at the unit from there. Yeah, we're in the right spot.
Okay, so there.
I would almost take that guy out. You could stand directly right up in there.
Yeah?
Yeah, because there's your exhaust. There's your exhaust door right there. See them right there? Right where the tape ends? That's your exhaust door.
Oh, yeah, okay.
If you take that 2x2 tile out,
This
that
one
could
here.
be,
I can get up in
that
there a little
2x2
easier.
tile out, and that would be your access for,
Like take that out there and then
or that
get my
one,
head
or
right
the
up
2x2,
inside there.
whatever you like. Yeah,
I see, okay.
yeah.
And then you can get to that door.
That's
over
it.
Here.
That's it. And when
So
you get,
There's the one door right
That's
there.
the one
other
door right
door
there.
is right there. I
and
see
the other
them.
door is right there. And again,
Yeah.
if you took that tile right out,
Yeah.
you would probably have all the access you need
There
to
they
change
are
them
there.
up, right?
No problem. That one's not too bad to get
Nowhere to move that 2x2 Harley though.
So you almost have to remove it, right?
Yeah.
If you take them down, then you could go straight towards the one he's replying right now and sort of stand it
Yeah,
up
yeah.
as well. There's lots of elevation height on them, right?
It's not the easiest thing to do.
There you go.
Like
Put
the
that.
buggers, eh?
Put the wire side in first.
Come on, get down there. Finicky stuff, isn't it?
You'll get used to them.
Yeah. It's tight.
Okay, this is a problem. This is happening down in the other end as well. Feel that? They're telling me
Background?
that this is balanced. It's the supply duct coming out of
Yeah.
the supply air
because
feeding in there. It's overcompensating. Yeah, that needs to be turned down. It's because this thing's not on, right? Let's turn it on
Yeah.
and see when it starts to pull.
No, it's on, but it's
Oh,
not
if it is
calling.
on.
It's not calling.
Oh, it is on.
Calling.
Yeah, we can't have that. I'm gonna talk
Coming out
to the.
too much, is it?
Sorry.
Coming out too much here?
Well, yeah, that's supposed to be pulling air out of the room.
It's supposed to be pulling out and mixing
it's
fresh air.
Back up. The bouncing
What's going on
damper. The bouncing damper is wide open. It's supposed to be supplying air to the plenum on the return side of it, right?
Yeah.
So it's not calling. This thing's not asking for any air, and it's getting all blown out there. So the bouncing damper hasn't been, and this is kind of confusing to me. This has all been pre-balanced. So I'm going to go over with your ladder. Let's go over there. I want to look and
Sure.
take. I'm going to.
Here, I'll carry it.
No, I'm going to actually stick my head up right here.
Okay.
It's, no,
We all
let's
done
finish
then?
with Mike first
Yeah.
and do with all that stuff. If there's any continued walkthrough and. We'll go
Surgery?
up to the core
Do we
area.
need the ladder anymore?
No.
No, probably not.
To do the surgery first, Dave?
Yeah, we'll walk through the surgery and then up through the core and cover everything. So we're in the surgery. We're standing underneath one of the 3 fan coils that serves the air for the surgery. Each fan coil has 3 10-inch neck diffusers. Times 3 is 9 in total. This is a fire damper because whereas the fire separation coming
Yes.
from the south east wing into the main core area, right? Once again, an access door, just an observation port for the fire damper itself. And the return plenum, which is the unit which is above our heads, there's the return plenums. They were 18 by 18 on the servery end of it, instead of the 24 by 12s, which were in the other ends. So all's good. This guy's pretty easy. He's got lots of room out here to change the filters on him.
Okay.
Right? He finishes here when he went with 1, 2, and 3 diffusers. This guy in the corner over here, again, he has a fire damper up in the corner above. He's coming from the south east to the through the fire separation wall. That's an exhaust just coming off of the air handler to return air.
And that's mirrored over there.
That's mirrored, that one down there. It's yeah, this is the only different room in the servery. The dirty dishes room or the cleaning. Again, it has the same deal. There's an air handling unit that's hanging above our heads. I believe your access here is going to be right there.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I'm lying. The access is going to be, yeah, the air handler is hanging right here. So yeah, your access is going to be like one of these guys, or maybe this guy here type of thing, right? He wasn't that tough. I remember looking at him. He wasn't that tough. The return is over here. The return plenum, again, 18 by 18. I like seeing all that dust. That means them filters are doing their job, right? And then the supply duct comes down, picks up the 3. This is the dishwasher exhaust fan. It runs on a sensor. If you come around here, you'll see a little tube up in the where the exhaust duct goes up in. There's a little tube up there. It's attached to a, I don't think it's a bimetallic thing. I don't know what, yeah, it must be a bimetallic thing. It's based on the, when the temperature reaches a certain temperature, it turns the fan on that's on the roof and pulls the, so when this thing is cleaning dishes and cooking, if you open the door and all this steam comes barreling up out there, it's going to turn that fan on right away with the temperature change or whatever after they do the dishes, right? So that's what the exhaust hood is all about. And again, this is a mirrored image of the first part of the server we walked into. 3 diffusers, an 18 by 18 exhaust, an 8 by 8 that's coming out from the air handler out in the hallway. Each one. You have probably going to have a full set of the drawings of the job, and it's a safe bet that everything is fairly close to what is on the drawing. On the tin side, just now and again there's a interference that was an offset. Now we're standing in the long hallway in the core, which is handled by air handler number 2. The air handler is actually at the far end of the hallway. The duct comes all the way to, the duct actually stops just down here. This is the end of air handler number 1. So we'll do, you want to walk from here and go do air handler number 1? Okay, and then we'll just touch on air handler number 1. Picks up these grills and diffusers in the hallway outside of the south servery. And you can see through this opening here, have a quick little look at the mains. The main, of course, the supply duct is always insulated, thermally wrapped. And the return duct, which is up above as well, it's all good sized duct coming off of that. So what happens is we have bottom takeoffs on the return that are going through the walls into all these offices all the way along the hallway. Picks up a little return grill on the inside office. We also have supply ducts that take air into there, into the VVTs or the VAVs, as I was telling you about this morning. The volume, velocity, temperature apparatus, or whatever you'd like to refer to it as. These little rooms on the sides are a little bit different. There's nothing coming off of air handler number 1 that's except for the family dining area. Each one of these little rooms along here is kind of associated with your end of the building. Yeah. The mechanical and the rooms, each one has a small exhaust fan that is just pulling and blowing out through a You seen the louvers on the outside of the building all along the back here? There's 4 in total.
Yep.
Each one has a plenum box and it picks up 3 or 4 fans. If you look over here, this is a fire damper symbol. It doesn't say FSD, it says FD, because this is an old-fashioned fire damper. It's not required to be a fire smoke damper. It's actually required to be. Can I call you later?
That's not an electric.
That's not an electric fire smoke damper. That's just a fire damper which works on a
The thermal link.
yes, a linkage. So it's 2 pieces of steel that are
With brass
overlapped, and there's lead.
Soldered.
Lead
And lead melts at 165 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
And as soon if you got a fire in there, the lead separates, and the shutter, which is spring loaded, will shut.
Closes it up.
So if we had room to take it up and show you, I'll show you one. There's a couple in the other rooms, and that's something that every now and again there's an access door provided, and you could open that up, and that goes into the bathroom in the family dining suite, which is in the room next door, the other side of it. But all the access and everything in the door is all through here, where there's a nice T-bar ceiling and lots of room for you to look at. Once a year, they say it's a good idea to look at that and just make sure that nothing's closed or nothing looks out of sorts.
Right.
For it. We're going into the kitchen, the main kitchen dishwasher room. Like, what? That is blowing hard too. Another dishwasher, okay? Kitchen, same kind of sensor that's located up there as the one we just looked at in the South Servery. And it's also the exact same as the one in the North Servery. And as I said, they're so repetitive, you probably don't want to look at every Servery. Right. But there's your sensor, and the actuator motor on the top is a turning dial that you turn it off and on. Excuse me. The kitchen is operated by its own HVAC device. It's HVAC number 1, sitting on the roof up there that right above us. What it's feeding, HVAC number 1, is each one of these supply diffusers, 24 by 24 supply diffusers for air coming into the room itself, all the way around. I believe there's 9 in total. It also feeds the diffuser that's in the dishwasher room and this kitchen storage room, has 2 of them as well. When you have a supply diffuser, you have to have a return diffuser, so it's coming off of HVAC number 1 as well. Each room, there's a 1212 in this guy. I think that's a 1410 over there. And it also has a return in the corner there, and one above my head, if I recall. Yeah, for the kitchen area itself. Also associated with the kitchen, the exhaust hood for all the cooking, the heat, the steam, the grease, everything like that goes through a series of filters. I'm sure you'll learn all that when you do your kitchen training, etc. Run through that VFD as well. When that turns this on, based on appliances being turned on, the hood comes on, the exhaust fan on the roof, turns on the makeup air, because we're pulling so much air out of here that we have to have makeup air put back in, or relief air, whatever you'd like to. That unit sits directly above us on the roof up here in this corner. The duct traverses down the hall, or down this aisleway. And the first takeoff goes across this way, and it picks up this guy here. This is where your makeup air is coming out. It's a great big diffuser, big opening. There's your second one right there. On the other side of the hood, there's 2 more. Each one of these runs of duct also has a duct heater associated with it. You're pulling 40 below air out of that unit up there on the roof. You don't want to feed that right in here. So that's why they put a duct heater on each one of these runs to bring it down to doable air. And this thing is running right now. You feel your hands on that. So that's our kitchen. We really have no HVAC in the fridge and freezers to speak of.
No sheet metal.
If you want to, we'll continue down the hall. There's another exhaust fan in this storage room, nurses storage. If you'd like to go into your room, Jay, and I'll show you. Basically what we're doing in this room here is you're directly under the ERV #1, or the energy recovery ventilator, which has 10 exhausts. What that does is takes the energy out of the air in the building, warm, moist air from laundry facility or bathrooms and things like that, takes any of the energy out of that air, mixes it with fresh air, sends it back. The unit is above our head, sends it back into air handler #1 on the return side.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't have to worry about that. Each one of them has a couple of, so I believe there's 8 8x8 grills associated with this unit, and one 24x10 or something, which is in the barber shop, which is pulling air out of the barber shop area as well, right? So they're still in the balancing phases of this thing. It's running up there now, but I don't feel it's running good enough. So that's something they're working on today, and well, tomorrow, or they're not going anywhere till it's done, apparently. Wonderful. That's the ERV. If we have a look right here, we can see air handler #1 is on the roof right directly above our heads. If we have a look on this side, you'll see that it's a bottom discharge air handler, which means the air is coming straight down out of the bottom of it, right? And it just drops into a supply plenum. This is the block end at the bottom of it, and you can look up and see there's your supply air going that direction. It goes into, this isn't insulated because that's a silencer. So what it's basically, it's full of insulation already. The silencer is, it quiets the air down. It forces the air through like a fibrous insulation.
Like a muffler?
Like a muffler, exactly what that is. And there's your other side of the other side of your supply end of it. Again, your big balancing volume dampers tying into another silencer. So basically the same idea is on the return up above, going in both directions. So, again, just like the hall below behind us, we're feeding supply into the VAVs, which are the volume and for the airflow in the individual offices, run by a thermostat in each office. The return as well. It also picks up the locker area over here, which has its own supply and return. That's all run off of air handler #1. If you like, we can go into
Go in the back here.
the laundry is the next room we're going to look at. Before we go in the room, we'll just show you the exhaust on the dryers. It's being pulled. It's natural gas dryers. As you can see, there's your gas vents, your valves again. These are the exhausts coming out of the dryer. So that's actually exhausting the hot air that's being created by drying the clothes.
Yes.
And it's also exhausted, it's mixed with the natural gas fumes as well, going all the way up. It's 8-inch round, and it's got 2 inches of a fibrous, rigid insulation on it. These bottom elbows here, I was just speaking of the other day, we put like a fire-rated sealant like on the gores on the inside and things like that, but we're going to do some more stuff on the bottom to it too, I think, to protect it. But I'm not sure if that's an insulator deal or what yet. So this is the makeup air, because the laundry facility is pulling so much air out of the dryers, etc. Needs so much air to pull to dry the clothes. This has a motorized damper, you can see, which is in the closed position, and the motor is associated when the dryers get turned on. That damper will open up, which will now pull cold air from outside and replace the air, relief air again, or makeup air. Like whenever you remove air from the room, you've got to bring adequate air back in, right?
I see. Okay.
That's what that one's for. There's your air, etc. for the dryers in the back area here.
Cool.
This area is actually fed by another separate HVAC unit, HVAC #2, which has its own set of diffusers and returns. It was balanced yesterday, so I'll take a walk through there. I'd kind of like to hear if it sounds like The returns are tight enough for me. I'm very picky on the returns.
Yeah. All it's good to be. You gotta have a balanced property, right?
Well, I can live with that. It was running at 100% the fan on the return side the other day, and it sounded awful in here. They've got it turned down adequate. He took all the readings. This room is actually completed for air balance. The second return is down at the other end of the system. So I believe there's a clean out, a lint trap. This will be probably something you'll be looking at, Jay,
Yes.
when you do your training in the laundry facility. You've already looked at those, okay. Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, there'll be some lint in there. Excuse me.
That shelf can't be there. That shelf's gotta be moved.
Yeah,
Right? This
yep,
is too close
yep.
to the
Electrical panel.
electrical panel, is it?
Yeah,
I don't think
has to be a
there
meter.
must be more. They must be doing something more to the bottom of that room anyway, and then before they
Yeah.
go for it, there has to be a piece of baseboard.
So it's gotta sit way back here, right?
That'd be meter clearance in
A
front.
meter clearance?
3
Yeah.
feet.
Okay.
So this is basically the end of air handler number 1. The runs on each end of the hallway. They extend right down to the end of the hallway, and there's some rounds picking up a couple of VAVs, etc., that are in this hallway area down here, picking up diffusers. Right, 1, 2 over there. There's an exhaust there. There's a bunch of VAV. I noticed the controls guys haven't got them marked yet, but there's normally a blue sticker, and I'll show you one on the way down the hall with some of the other VAVs. I know there's one right above here, which means this family dining or family meeting or whatever, a little blue circle that they put on the T-bar.
So where were the filters contained people?
There's no filters in that, it's a VAV.
VAV doesn't have
Just the damper that's moving.
It's a damper that controls the volume. And they also have some kind of heaters in them for
here will be.
they have heaters in them for temperature and that VAV is picking up these 2 diffusers here, the one that's out there in the hall. So
now there's gonna be a filter in here to change.
well, here's the second VAV, the one that picks up, it goes through the wall here. No, there'll be no filter.
Filter in here?
No, that's a fire damper. See the blue circle?
Yes.
The blue circle suggests that there's a VAV right there for the controls guy to do his service work. So there's an access door that I put in there the other day. Once it's installed, I will have one of those FSD stickers stuck to that door so that you know that there's your fire smoke damper again to be looked at. Again, the access door for an observation portal to look inside the door, etc., right?
What's that pipe there going down there, that white pipe? What's that one?
That is
Is that
a conduit,
Conduit.
yeah, that they decided to run right in a funny spot.
Just in a
fire
spot.
alarm.
Fire alarm, yeah, right to the other end.
Okay.
Yeah, so this fire damper feeds air that goes into the high bay, one of the really high linears that when we walk over through that area, I'll remind you of that area. That's the end of air handler number 1. Now we get to air handler number 2, which is dropping down through, again, bottom discharge. And if you look up, there's the supply, the bottom of them right there. The reason that doesn't have any thermal on it is because that block end has acoustic on the inside. And that's why, and the other one over there does too, but the insulators didn't realize it. They just itched it as well. We call that itch or acoustic or thermal insulation. Right, so that's your supply drop coming out of the bottom. I'm sorry we didn't look at it. If you'd like to, we can go back. But in the return drop is actually in the laundry facility above us, and it comes through a large fire smoke damper in the wall. And I have my FSD sticker on the T-bar in the laundry facility, and I always put it on the side that has all the apparatus and everything, the electrical tie-ins and the gauges and sensors and things that need to be looked at, right? This side, all it would have was just an angle frame around the fire damper sleeve. So again, it'll have a supply and return run going down the hallway, like as any air handler does. one returning air to the air handler, one supplying air to the rooms, etc. This room, we don't have any hallway diffusers at all off of this air handler. Everything goes in its own directions. A lot of it's going out into this main entranceway and the big high ceiling area to our right. And actually that's off of air handler number 1. All these offices, the barber shop. Air handler number 2, although it was the largest unit on the roof, it doesn't have a lot of, we'll start at this side and work our way back here. I'd like to introduce everybody to our resident electrician. His name is Joseph. He's one of the top lead hands here, and he also won a competition for electrical competitors in 1994.
Really?
Apprentice.
So that is the big diffuser we were just talking about in that family dining on the other side. That comes through the wall down there in that fire damper, and it actually goes straight up the wall, above those cupboards in a bulkhead up in there, right? So this entire area here is basically fed with that linear right there, and there's 4 of these, another one around the corner, that's our return side. And that duct runs above the ceiling of everything along here. So this little laundry facility, it's a janitor's room for this area. It's got a fire rated ceiling. There's a fire smoke damper in that grill right there. That's a fire rated access door.
Why did it double the drywall? That's,
2 layers of 5/8 board. Yeah, that's 1.5 hours of
why is that?
fire rated.
Why is it double here?
Double it because it takes
Fire
an hour and a
separation.
half. That's a fire rated ceiling. It take an hour and a half to burn through 2 layers of 5/8 board.
Why is it so high up in there?
That's
That's because it's high.
the nature of it.
Okay.
You can see the duct. That's ERV number 1. You can see the and it's labeled return air, but in reality it's exhaust air. My apprentice didn't quite catch that part when I was telling him what to write, I guess.
Okay.
That each of these little bathroom areas has an 8x8 going back to that ERV. Let me see which one. No, okay, yeah. Anyway, all the mechanical for this little area here comes through in this big T-bar room, which is helpful, so we can get a quick look at it. This is a hallway, and each one of them has a fire smoke damper. I want to say 1, 2,
3.
and 3 coming through here. The supply, the return, etc. All the mechanicals also in here because you're going to have your VAVs. Hence the blue circle there. There should be another blue circle somewhere here above my head. There's one there, right? Another blue circle there. So there's fire dampers and access doors. If you look up there, everywhere you look, you'll see, mechanical, electrical, balancing dampers. It's a busy room up in here.
Okay.
All right, so everything that feeds all this room comes in through this area where the T-bar is and then heads down the hallway. Once again, you won't really need to do anything with any of that. That's all something that'll be a mechanical problem.
So good to take a look at it though.
Yep. Again, if you ever go to a situation where somebody, there's no exhaust going out of that, the first thing you could always look at is just look in there and follow it back until you get back and have a look and see if something is a vibration or something has closed the volume damper or something to that,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Like let's follow it back right now. If you went to find him, it's 10 by 10 ductwork.
10 by 10 ductwork, eh? Going back over this way.
Yeah.
There it is right there.
There it is. And he's in the wide open position right now.
Yeah.
But if you came and had a
Oh
look,
yeah,
and-
there's the thing right there.
yeah, and if you came over and looked and that handle was pointing down
Then you know it's
because
problem.
the wing nut had loosened free from vibration or something, that would be the first thing you'd look at if you're an easy fix to try to help out with
Okay.
the situation,
yeah.
just with an airflow.
Okay.
And let's say there was nothing coming out of that supply diffuser. Let's see what we'd think about with that. We'd say, I wonder why that supply diffuser has a problem. And we'd go and follow the ductwork that it's coming off of and keep following it and seeing if you can find, yeah, It comes off the VAV back here. But you can't really see, but so if you see where the round, come back where I'm standing, see where the
You see
round
it
coming
here,
off the
Dave?
end of it?
Yep.
You can see it from here.
Or you can see one right there as
You
well.
can see it
We're all
right
the
here,
same.
right?
Come back far enough. Yeah, there you go. See where it 90s into the side of the duct?
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'll point with my tape measure where you can look and see the there's where the handle is. Do you see the handle right there?
No, I don't.
It's right where my tape measure is. I'm back.
Buried in the inside.
Yeah, there you go. Just come back.
Oh,
further.
yeah, okay, yeah.
There you go. See the little tab that's
Yeah.
pointed out there? That is a tab. That handle is actually showing direction of airflow as well. The tab is in a parallel position to the run of the duct, which would suggest the blade inside is in a parallel position, and the airflow is correct, right? And it's getting all the airflow it needs. That's how each supply and each return has a. You can always look at those levers if there's a lack of air for first thing before you start calling in a sheet metal worker or Hassan.
Yeah. All right.
One more big room.
One more big room, yeah. Now, this room here is the main entrance of the building, and the air handler number 2 is looking after this big room. It has two large VAVs with 12-inch necks, turning into that 18-inch round ductwork, and then turning into that 18-inch round fabric duct or sock duct or fabric diffuser, whichever you'd like to. It's full of air right now as the unit's running, and all that series of small holes is supplying air for this entire area. If we look up, the linears here are the returns for this entire big area. The other supply of air for this room is off another 12-inch neck VAV. And the duct runs in this bulkhead here, and it's coming off of, or it has four diffusers supplying air for this also large room. So you have three. That's the supply. That's the return. Down in the end, we also have a secondary return, and we have an exhaust. I think they call this the ceremony room. Spiritual room, maybe something, I'm not sure. But now and again, they might require more exhaust in here than normal. This is exhaust fan. There'll be a manual speed control switch for that thing, I believe. It's going to be mounted. That'll turn EF10 number on, which is on the roof outside that window up there, for pulling a little bit more air out of this area here, if required. That is a return opening that's associated with the sock duct again on AHU number 2. This little tiny server here, the last of the stainless hoods, it's covered under the NFPA regulations, so it had to have a fire suppression system. As you can see over here, goes with it. You don't probably want to touch and play with too much of that either. I wouldn't.
No, we don't like
And yeah, the filter is here. The duct is all welded duct. I believe it's 12 by 10. It goes to exhaust fan number 9 on the roof. It's a small inline exhaust. It has a stack going straight up. It's on the south east wing over there by.
Oh, on the roof?
Yeah,
I
on the
see
roof.
it, yeah.
Well, there's the big one
Showed me, yeah.
above the kitchen.
Yeah.
But there's the small one over here
Oh.
in the southeast. It's right in between, right beside makeup air number 2 and AHU number 3.
Okay.
On this end of the building in the southeast end of the wing, right? And them readings are I'm not sure if they're. I supplied a road map for the balancer this morning of the 15 or so assorted exhaust fans in the building. He's going to get readings from each and every one of them.
Oh, nice.
And again, here's a little blue circle you might see, and there's something Hassan might want to look at that somebody's had fun with. And that would suggest there's a volume damper up there. Somebody's trying to give me a heart attack. All right, well, I think that,
Air curtain.
that concludes basically an HVAC
Air
walkthrough.
curtain.
The kitchen?
Air curtain.
Oh, yes, the air curtain. Have you got any questions so far,
No, I think that.
Jay? And once again, I'm gonna be here for a return visit next week. If you have any questions, it's not a big deal. I'll be here for, this is something we just hung last week there. It's commonly referred to as an air curtain. Normally they're used to give a person a blast of warm air when they walk into a building from the cold outside or whatever. This one's got a little different use to it. It's going to use to heat this entire vestibule area. What happens is the return air is going to be pulled in through this end up here, all that hot air up there or whatever might get recycled, and now it'll be blown down. Yeah. It'll get blown straight down, and it'll just be a big circle, and that'll cover everything. That's going to run on a thermostat that is sitting up top there. The electrician will probably show you some stuff to do with that when you do his walkthrough. Not sure where it's being mounted yet.
It'd activate on the door switch and the thermostat.
Okay.
So when the
So-
door opens, it would start up.
Turn
and-
on, yeah, yeah.
Or if the room gets too cold, it would turn
The
on.
room, yeah. Might be a little manual one that the lady at the reception desk switches on or something, right?
Emergency button.
There, I'm assuming there's a set of doors here that
Yes.
Yeah.
close as well, so.
Yeah.
So this will be separately heated from this area.
Okay.
That concludes our little HVAC walkthrough. Is there any more questions?
I think I don't have any questions right now, but if I think it's something, I know where you're at.
That's right, so. Yeah, I'll just leave you a phone number because I won't be here.
I think I got your phone number, didn't I?
Yeah.